Akinteractive 135th Land Rover 88, Part 1, Unboxing and Review. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, it's good to have you with us. So, I've chosen my next kit, and it's going to be the Land Rover 88 Series 2 Rover 8 by Akinteractive. So I haven't built anything by Akinteractive before. Obviously I use a lot of their paints and everything, so this should be really interesting. The edge of the box has got all the different markings, and there are 7 different options, which is, I think, it's brilliant, including the Lebanese one, which is left-hand drive, so it's got parts for the left-hand drive as well. The box art's really nice. It shows a Land Rover from the Arden campaign with a Bristol Belvedere in the background. So in the box there's a full set of instructions, obviously, so we'll just have a look through those. Again, really nice picture on the front, same picture as on the box, and then really clearly laid out instructions. There's the sprue map. You start with the chassis as normal. It's a one-piece chassis, which is nice, so you don't have to worry about getting it square. The suspension goes on, and then the drive shafts and the wheels, and then the engine. Now this could be a problem because I really don't like building engines, but it would seem that the majority of the kit is the engine, and I mean, it looks really nice, painted in a nice green, but my problem is that you just don't see it. So to me it's not really worth it, but obviously I'm going to do it. That's the 3rd page of the engine, and the gearbox goes on, so that's the 4th page of the engine, and then finally it goes into the chassis itself. And so it does look really nice, but in my opinion, is it worth it? Yeah, of course it is. And already you can see the options starting to come in for the one variation that's left-hand drive, which I think is absolutely brilliant, because that means that everything inside the vehicle is reversed, and just to have that option, I think is really good. Saying that, I'm not going to be doing the left-hand drive version. So here are more steering arms, exhaust, and again exhaust for the right-hand drive version. So the instructions are really nicely laid out, as you'd expect from AK, but all the colour call-outs are there, and it looks really nice. That's the wheels going on, and then we start on the body shell. It's going to be quite a challenge, because obviously it's all, apart from the chassis, it's made of aluminium, so I'm not going to be able to do any rust effects on this model. It's mainly going to be dusty, I think. That's the interior, the seats, and the windscreen, and again the seats, just in grey vinyl. Controls, pedals, steering wheel. So to say, can't wait to get started with this one. It looks really nice. It's going to be smaller than the majority of kits I do, so that's going to be another challenge. But I think it should work out okay. So you can see it's really come together now. Spare wheels going onto the bonnet. I suppose I could do the bonnet open to show the engine. And then there's a canvas cover. So here are the options. The 16th 5th Lancers, British Army Arden, 1965. 16th 5th Lancers, British Army Arden, 65. So again, slightly different camouflage. 45 Commando Royal Marines, in Arden, but in 1967. The RAF in Oman, 1969. That's quite nice with the yellow roof. That's a bit of a challenge. British Army of the Rhine, Nürburgring, West Germany, 1972. United Nations, Finnish Battalion, Sinai Desert, 1973. And then finally the Lebanese Forces, Armed Militia, Lebanon, 1970s to 80s. And that's it. So really nice, clear instructions. And then here are the sprues. So that's the engine. The majority of the engine parts, all nice and crisp. Not much, no flash that I could see at all. There are the wheels and the seats by the looks of it. Yeah, there's a close up of the wheels there. And so really nice, crisp details on there. That's the floor pan, the doors, nicely moulded on door catches and openers. You know what I mean. It's the body shell and the bonnet and the bumpers. So to say they're the only bits that are going to get any rusting effects on them. That's the one-piece chassis. So that's really nice to have, because that just gives a whole lot of rigidity to the model, and make sure that you get it all square, which is nice. And then just a few smaller sprues, just with some shackles and towing pin on. And then you get this nice little box, and if I can open it, inside this box is the canvas cover, and again that's really nicely moulded, lots of nice wrinkles in it, and then that's the rolled up bit that goes at the back. Next we have the clear parts. It's just a standard clear sprue. Then we get the wheels, which are vinyl rubber tyres. Again, really nicely crisp tread on them. So they look really nice. If you've seen my models before, you'll know how I make those nice and dusty. And then a sprue of photo etch with the fan blades on the front grille. And then here are the decals. Really nice effects on these. The UN decals are made to look like they're hand painted on, and everything else is really crisp and clear, mainly a whole set of different number plates. So yes, it'll be interesting to see how well they go down. So I am really impressed with those UN ones. Again, I probably won't be using it because I'm not very good at painting white. And there we go. So I hope you enjoyed that. It was just a quick run through. So hopefully it'll be just a reasonably quick build, and then we can get on to the painting, which is the bit I like. Let me know down in the comments which scheme you'd like me to do, because I still haven't really decided yet. And please like and subscribe, and I will see you again soon. Bye.